Hello everybody, my name is April Pointer and I am a Royal Crown Diamond with Young Living. I became a member of Young Living at the very beginning of 2009, and after 2 years of faithfully using and loving my oils, I decided to explore the business side of Young Living. And so I want to start off by saying that I didn't start off knowing all there was to know about building a network marketing business. I was pretty clueless. I literally learned along the way. I didn't wait till I was confident or knew every little thing about every product we had before I started sharing. Thankfully, Vicki Opfer, who's another Royal Crown Diamond and has been with Young Living since, the beginning, she phrased this coined the phrase heart-centered sharing way back when, like in the 90s. And that was what I first learned from in terms of sharing Young Living. And my upline was always teaching classes, but Vicki Opfer really taught us a lot about sharing. And she's cross-lined to me and was one of my very first experiences with just Team Young Living as a whole. And sharing with Team Young Living business advice, friendships, teaching classes together. It was amazing cross-line camaraderie. Anyway, she was this great example, and I duplicated that in my team right off the bat. So Team Young Living has always been close to my heart. It's always been a thing I'm grateful to have, that we have these great big cross-line events that welcome everybody in terms of learning how to do the business as well as the oils. Grateful for the veteran leaders who paved the way for us and set that example. So love that. So today I want to talk to you guys about the subject of thinking big and putting your dream to the test. So my first question for you is, do you have a dream? Thinking big or dreaming big brings your life bigger ideas, bigger plans, bigger success. And I've read 3 really great books that had a major impact on my life on this subject. The first one is called Start With Why, and that's by Simon Sinek, or Sinek. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, S-I-N-E-K. The second is Put Your Dream to the Test by John Maxwell. And lastly, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. So a lot of what I'm going to share with you today is what I learned firsthand also from these books, and along from obviously my own journey to Royal. Now, I did not start off knowing everything, knowing it all. Guys, I have grown 1,000 and a million fold in the last 6 years of building my business. I was a loyal product user for about 2 years. I wanted nothing to do with the business, you guys. And then I started dabbling in it and then went really full force within about 2 years into it. So I've grown a lot in 6 years, and this profession, it is life-changing for you personally as a person, and in learning how to communicate with other people. I mean, you think you know that before this, but you really don't until you start peopling, as I call it, and you really get into all kinds of different lives. They come into your path, and you learn to communicate with all types of people. So lots and lots of growing has happened in my heart, in my mind, in my relationships, all of that. So back to the subject, building a dream. Many people don't have a dream, or they don't know how to achieve those dreams, like how to break it down into goals. It just stays this big dream off in the future, and we gotta bring it down from dream down to these goals that are attainable, that we can meet these goals, and then our dream becomes a reality. So I want to help you guys learn how you can figure out what your dream is. A dream is it's an inspiring picture, or it's a blueprint of a person's purpose or their potential. It's really like an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, it energizes your will, your emotions, and it empowers you to do anything to achieve it. Now, 4 things that keep people from chasing a dream are, number 1 is some get discouraged by others. 2 is some are hindered by past disappointments or hurts. 3, some get into the habit of just settling for average. You know, when you settle for less than you deserve, I've learned, you actually in turn get even less than what you settle for. It's just a hard fact, reality of life. And one I've learned, Les Brown is one of my favorite people to follow and learn from. And something I've learned from him is that one of the greatest tragedies in life is of a person with someone with like a 10 by 12 capacity, and they're living in this tiny 2 by 4 soul. And these people just don't set out to do anything in life. They just live day to day to day, and they let life happen to them instead of them happening to life and being purposeful. And that's a problem, okay? That's a problem. Lastly, number 4 is some just lack the confidence to actually pursue their dreams. So let's define confidence real quickly off the bat. I don't think confidence is knowing everything. Confidence, I've learned from Brendan Burchard, who was our keynote speaker at convention this year. I'm sure y'all saw him if you're at convention. But he says that confidence is not knowing everything. It is merely the knowing that you have the ability to figure things out along the way. Okay? You know that you can figure it out along the way. And that is what confidence is. Now, you may be saying to yourself, I don't have a dream that I think is worth pursuing. And to that, I would say even our thoughts, guys, even our thoughts play a major role in creating circumstances and situations of life. And this means that if we think big, we're going to achieve bigger success. But if we think small, we're not going to reach far, we're not going to reach high. But if you can think really big, you'll be able to make the big changes in your life and reach greater heights in whatever you do. So thinking big or dreaming big does not require more effort than thinking small. Guys, it just doesn't. But if you think big and you're earnest about it, sooner or later, you're also going to make greater efforts and be willing to make greater changes in your life. So it's like baby stepping your way into it. And the magic of dreaming and thinking big can change your life, but only if you back it with action and faith. Absolutely pivotal. Thinking big is actually not magic, but it's like this mental law of nature, okay? Now, just dreaming, staying passive and waiting for things to change with no effort on your part is not enough. And that might have just stepped on a lot of toes, but I'm here to tell you that it's just not enough. You need to keep your mind open to see opportunities and then grasp them when they appear. Young living is that, you guys. You need to grasp this because it has appeared and is in your life for a purpose. God put it in your life for such a time as this, right? Now, we also need willpower. We need self-discipline, courage, motivation. That all will follow the thoughts and the desires, okay? And it comes with time. So how many people have become successful and wealthy after just watching a movie or reading a book? You know, no one probably, like I think those things inspire people, but getting inspired is not enough. We also need motivation, which means a really strong desire to achieve our goals. But then, you know, how many people have a strong desire? Like you probably have dreams of a better and more successful life. However, if you don't believe you can achieve this kind of life, you're actually going to end up neutralizing any positive thoughts you might have. So thinking big needs to be constantly on your mind. Even if it's in small baby steps, it constantly needs to be on your mind to achieve these big things. And you can start by thinking and expecting just a little bit bigger. Like I said earlier, start there. You can do whatever you do just on a little bigger scale, and gradually many of the things in your life are going to change and improve. And you'll find out very quickly that thought patterns can transform your life. And it takes some time, it takes some effort to think big or to think small. So again, just thinking small a little bit at a time, just to get you used to that not the affirmations, but just the positive mindset, okay? Now, fear and lack of self-esteem can often keep people from even thinking small and even expecting much. So for this to happen, this is where faith comes in, and we need faith to succeed. And we need to adopt this positive attitude and take on a positive actions to go with it. So thinking about those smaller goals, to expect the smaller achievements. You've got this huge dream over here. We want to break that down into goals right here in the middle. So if we're over here, then we need to start taking those steps towards the goals. And that can be big steps or little steps, whatever you're ready for. And as long as you're going to be thinking anyway, just start going towards the smaller goals that it will take to reach the dreams. I hope that makes sense. Now, Napoleon Hill says, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. That's really powerful. And in our industry of network marketing, it is so possible to live the dream you're striving for, to turn those dreams into goals. Guys, we have such a doable comp plan. We have one of the best comp plans of hundreds of network marketing companies. And if you could draw a picture on how you're going to achieve your dreams while you're at, say, your 9-to-5 job, let me just show you. I'm going to lay it out what it's going to look like. It would look like this. You're basically kind of like doing your work and you're earning your money. You pay the bills and then repeat. And the picture of what you can achieve is usually pretty limited. There's usually a ceiling. It's not a glass ceiling. It's a pretty opaque ceiling, right? Like there is a top of a ladder and you don't hit it. But it's limited, okay? But in our profession in network marketing, we can choose when to work. We can choose where to work. So if you want to go places, you can do that and you can work from where you are. If you want to travel the world, why not? You can work anywhere. You can earn money anywhere you are. In your daytime job, like in a 9-to-5 job where you would be required to work at a given time and possibly be penalized when you're late. And most people work just hard enough not to get fired. An employee can work a hard day, a hard night, and you can even bring your work home and expect the same payment. But in our industry, y'all, the more you work, the more you earn. And this is working smart, of course, with income-producing activities. You can earn as much as you want, and there really is not a limit, okay? When you're your own boss, you can decide the faith of your business. You can decide how to do your job that will fit into the dream you dream about. And we have the freedom that we don't get as an ordinary employee, where we're always told what to do and what not to do. So you can never be a victim of company politics when you think you deserve a raise and you don't get it because someone sabotaged you. No. In network marketing, you will get what you deserve, and no one can hinder your success except yourself, okay? It's pretty straightforward. So what do most of us dream of? Well, I would say freedom, right? Like freedom is what most people dream of. And do you think you can get that in Young Living? I mean, of course we can get that. We get to share this business with others. And if you think you guys have been blessed by this business, y'all, think of the blessings we're robbing others of by just not even talking about it, by not sharing, okay? Now, me personally, I get to live my dream by living in a lot of freedom, and time freedom and financial freedom are my two types of freedom I live in the most, that have impacted my life the most and my family the most. We are a homeschool family. We usually have the freedom to just pick up and travel to places that we want to learn about. We get to give generously. I mean, that is the best feeling in the world, to countless organizations and causes that we are personally very passionate about, with their mission to change the world. And we've been able to partner closely with several of them, and make a dent in human trafficking and putting clean water wells in Asia and disaster relief for people who lose everything in natural disasters. That's what's close to our heart. And we've been able to make a dent with that, and it just brings us so much joy to allow God to not just give finances to us, but that He would trust us to move them through us to where He would see best fit. So we get to live our dream now and impacting people, all of Team Young Living, like the day-to-day lives of those around me as product users, as business builders, both on my team and Crossline. That is a huge joy for me to be able to do that. Like, I get to take these people on a journey, touching people's hearts, their minds and spirits with a life-changing product. And then you guys too, you guys get to do this too. And so I want you to look within yourself. What haven't you done yet? Where do you want to go? Who is with you? It's on purpose and for a purpose, and being intentional with the skills and talents that God gave you or gifted you with. So our main goal is really just expanding the mind, touching the heart, and igniting the spirit. Guys, don't underestimate yourself or your voice. There are people waiting to hear it, and people should feel the need to make the change that you're offering. Like, we have this ability to touch people that we don't even know. I don't even know most of you and watching this right now, but God has given us this ability called technology to touch people that we don't even know, okay? Let's talk about fear, okay? Fear. It is something innate. It is within all of us, and it determines our motivation and determination for pretty much everything, I think, or lack thereof. It has the ability to stand in our way, to be a stumbling block, most of all, or to be a tool that we can use to grow with and succeed with. And it's like this secret that's hiding in plain sight. And I heard someone say once that fear is the most widely abused drug in the world. And it may seem strange to refer to something innate as a drug, but guys, think about this. Fear is just as addictive as any form of substance abuse. It is the biggest driving force why most people never pursue their goals or their dreams, because of fear. It's this drug that's like coursing through all of our veins. Everyone has it. And while its negative qualities may seem obvious on the outside, we're all kind of hooked on it because it keeps us living in this comforting state of certainty and of just sameness, unchanging anything. And even our physiology, guys, and when I say it's coursing through our veins, I'm really addressing our physiology, our bodies. Our physiology is geared towards acquiring as much sameness as possible. Your mind and your body literally collaborate to achieve what's known as homeostasis. And I know a lot of you have heard of that word. This is translated as homeo, meaning similar, and stasis, meaning static or unmoving. And like fear, homeostasis has its place, and it's a good thing. It can be a good thing. It has its place. I mean, without it, our kidneys would not independently regulate our internal temperature or our electrolyte balance. I mean, to make matters worse, we'd feel inclined to take poorly calculated risks without it, right? But our brains are so quick to put a stop to that with a really healthy dose of fear with those calculated risks. And it's easy to see that fear and homeostasis are a necessary part of life, and it's just as easy to see how good intentions can also get in our way. It's kind of like you're sabotaging your mind by accident. And nobody who has ever done anything great, I will just say this, nobody who's ever done anything great got there by staying stuck in fear. And likewise, nobody figured out the best way to get there without falling down a few times or a few hundred times. Like me, I have failed literally so many times, failed my way forward, failed my way to the top Everybody does it. Everybody does it, guys. We all learn from our mistakes. I mean, if you read the book, there's a great book by John Maxwell called Failing Forward. If you haven't read that and you want to make it to the top, read it, okay? I've learned more from my failures than from my successes, and that is the God honest truth. So think about it. Think about how it will impact your life for the better if you pursue your dream, and how it will turn out for the worse if you don't. There's a lot of regret to be had, and the regret of never trying at all will be far worse than any temporary pain of trying and stumbling along the way, falling and getting up, and falling and getting up, and falling and getting up. You guys, there are people in Young Living, there are diamonds in Young Living that it's taken them over 10 years to reach diamond. And you know what I love about that? Like, despite their circumstances, I mean, maybe they were working full time. I don't know what the circumstances were. Maybe I don't even know. I'm not even going to try to make up circumstances, but despite whatever their circumstances are, it shows me their tenacity, their unwavering just personalities to give up, their heart for our products, and their drive to keep going and share Young Living with the world and get oils into every single home. They did it. Like, they still did it. And let me tell you what, there is no corporate job that is going to give you the pay raise every year that our profession gives. No other job can offer that. And even if it takes 10 years to get it, you're still going to be making more money with those check increases every year than if you were stuck in a 9-to-5 corporate job where there is a ceiling, okay? So we are watching people hit diamond in a few years now. And it takes a lot of grit, dedication, passion, hard work, heart, and hustle. But no matter how fast or how slow you do it, network marketing is by far the best industry to be in terms of reaching a dream with finances that it can create. So again, start small. When you determine what it will take for you to gain the confidence to take the big leap, again, guys, start small. I know a lot of you are scared. You're just starting out, scared. Oh my gosh, I can't even see myself as a diamond. Like, I can't even see myself as royal. Like, just picture yourself as an executive. You're just starting off, or a silver. Like, what would that feel like when you watch the video, when you watch or go to convention? Like, what would that feel like to walk across the stage as a gold or a platinum? Like, what would I wear? And emotionally connect to that. And ease into the goals by committing to working on one step every day that takes you in the right direction. It doesn't matter how small the steps are, just be moving, okay? So going back to limiting beliefs and thought patterns, you know, our inner voice is like this brilliant liar. And it creates these limiting beliefs and negative self-talk, and they're common ways that fear tends to manifest itself. And both of these leads to procrastination or excuses, which is how fear keeps you stuck in what's comfortable. And these need to be dealt with before they take up more valuable time. Because negative beliefs come from defining moments in life. And it's very common during childhood when your mind is at its most impressionable. It could be maybe things you were told as a child, or things that happened to you, or something you saw. But even as an adult, we get to change that. And there's a solution, and that's to challenge your beliefs. And think back about when you may have decided those beliefs were true, or the lies, and question if they still even have to apply to your life now. And you may have been told to get a good education and get a grueling 9-to-5 job because it's safe. Guys, have you even seen the massive layoffs in corporate America in the last 10 years? Like, my family was privy to that, okay? And thank God we had Young Living to fall back on. But guys, I just want you to know you can do this. We live in a world where not only is anything possible, but we have more entrepreneurs than ever before in history. And not all of us avoid work because it seems hard. Even if it isn't difficult, sometimes it's just what it means to us. Like, it takes time away from something we'd rather be doing, or it gives negative meaning to something you need to do. That's the easiest way to start procrastinating. And we need to have a goal for the future and connect emotionally to it, because if you don't connect emotionally to something, it's really hard to do something today for something that's coming in the future. Like you need to connect to that thing in the future. And a lot of times we can be lazy, and I just think the cure for laziness is to change the meaning of the task you're doing. Instead of focusing on how difficult it is, choose to focus on why it's a must. And instead of focusing on losing time for something else, focus on, just gaining the progress in the direction of something bigger. If you're familiar with the Green Berets, military, like super special forces, right? They have this whole thing like embrace the suck. And I know that sounds funny and crazy, but there are some grueling things that they go through. And they know that over the next period of days or hours, days or weeks, whatever their mission is, it's going to suck. It's going to be awful. It's going to be hard. And they just embrace this mentality, like embrace the suck. This is going to be hard, but I'm going to embrace it and move through it and do it anyway. And I'm not saying your Young Living journey is going to suck, you guys. I would never, ever say that or think that. But we do have to embrace the hard things. And going after a dream is hard. If you can achieve your dream in the next 6 months, it's not big enough at all, okay? So investing time in tired and old negative thought patterns only leaves you in debt for positive results. So let me ask you again, do you have a dream? Are you a big thinker? And I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and these are the 10 questions from the John Maxwell book, Put Your Dream to the Test. And the first question is, well, this is just to kind of like see if your dream is legitimate and to help you see it and to help you seize your dream, okay? So first is first off, before I ask you the question, how many teachers, or how many times have you had a teacher growing up that would tell you what's going to be on a test so that you're prepared? We all have, right? And thank God. They were setting you up for success when you took the test, and that's what these 10 questions are going to do. They're going to set you up for success. So, are you ready to put your dream to the test? Now, you may be saying to yourself, I've got a dream that I think is worth pursuing, but I'm not really sure. So these are the questions to put that dream to the test, okay? The first is an ownership question, and is my dream really my dream? Is it mine? Second is the clarity question. Do I clearly see my dream? And this is a problem for many. They kind of know, but they don't. It's more of a wish, more of a hope. There's not the clarity. Third question is your reality question. Am I depending on factors within my control to achieve my dream? Because sometimes people's dream is, well, I'll convince this person to do X, Y, Z. Like, it doesn't fly. The next one is your passion question. Does my dream compel me to follow it? Number 5, do I have a strategy? A lot of people don't have a strategy, and that's okay. You got to start small and get the steps going in that direction. Number 6 is your people question. Have I included the people that I need to actually realize my dream? Number 7 is cost. Am I willing to pay the price? Number 8 is your tenacity. Am I moving closer to it? 9 would be fulfillment. Does my working towards my dream bring me satisfaction? Does it fulfill you? Is it a reason to get up in the morning, right? And number 10 is significance. Does my dream benefit others, or is it self-fulfilling to myself? I hope you guys write these questions down and you study them. I want to close with this. Thank you for listening. This is a long message, but stop letting others determine what you're doing or not doing. Because when it's someone else's dream, it's going to drain your energy. It will make you feel heavy. It'll put you to sleep. It'll take you out of your strength zone and into areas that you're not even talented in and things you're not even good at. And it's just not the right fit. It's fulfilling to others, and it will require others to make you do it and keep you on track. If that's how you feel, that's not your dream. When it is your dream, it will feel right. It will propel you forward. It will give you the fire, and it will give you these wings to keep going. And it's something that will keep you up at night. It's not going to put you to sleep, you know? It's what's going to take you out of your comfort zone, and it will be incredibly fulfilling. And you'll feel like you're made to do it. Like you won't need someone to keep track of you. But you've got to be willing to bet on yourself, guys. Look for people who will believe in you. It's people you can borrow their belief if you don't believe in yourself. Because what we believe is how we act. And a healthy self-worth creates a healthy net worth, okay? And what we believe is what we do. So, okay guys, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. I hope that you're able to go do something really special with this information, and it helps you get on the track of thinking bigger and dreaming bigger and figuring out your dream. Thanks so much. Bye.